about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex.
Introduction, page 1. On August 3rd, 2004, comedian Dave Chappelle signed a contract with Comedy Central valued at $50 million. The contract committed him to 2 more seasons of his hit television series, Chappelle's Show. Chappelle's Show was a runaway success. It was lavished with praise by mainstream and underground media alike, and was Comedy Central's most talked about series. It was a juggernaut on DVD, selling more than 1.7 million copies of its first season, a record for any television show. All seemed right in the world of Dave Chappelle, and all seemed right with Chappelle's Show. After years of hard work, Dave had reached the pinnacle of his chosen profession, largely on his own terms, and had been rewarded handsomely for it. Personally, Dave's life was also prosperous. He had a beautiful wife and lovely children, and was close to both his mother and father, though the two had divorced years earlier. He was also a devout Muslim, and his faith had been a source of strength throughout the tumultuous production schedule of the first 2 seasons of Chappelle's Show. But nothing, not even religion, could prepare him for what lay ahead. Introduction, page 2. After signing the contract, Dave looked forward to returning to his rural Ohio home to spend some time with his family before hunkering down to begin work on show's highly anticipated 3rd season. But Dave was haunted by a secret, one that only he was aware of, and one he couldn't share with anyone, lest his comedy empire crumble. He knew that at the same time he was signing his record-setting deal, there was a secret cabal of powerful African-American leaders from the business, political, and entertainment industries working together to ensure that the 3rd season of Chappelle's Show would never happen. At one time or another, each member of this loosely knit, informal group had played a key role in Chappelle's rise to stardom. They had been instrumental in securing movie and television roles, offering counsel, and simply aiding Chappelle financially when his stand-up work couldn't pay the bills during his lean early years. Over the last 2 years, they had watched warily as Chappelle's Show had become the Comedy Central's premier show, eclipsing even South Park and The Daily Show in terms of buzz. Introduction, page 3. It was reported that they had voiced their concerns about Chappelle's Show to Dave many times over those 2 years, showing their displeasure with the direction that the show was taking. However, their actions could not steer Dave away from the comedy that was most natural to him. Collectively, they felt Chappelle's Show reinforced negative stereotypes about African Americans, and that its content was, in the words of group leader Bill Cosby, setting race relations back 50 years. The $50 million deal that Chappelle signed was the straw that broke the camel's back. The group, informally known as the Dark Crusaders, knew that a deal of this magnitude would guarantee increased attention for the 3rd season of Chappelle's Show, not to mention sending his already robust DVD sales through the roof. In what was an attempt to ensure that this would not happen, the group was seen holding a closed-door meeting at the Omni Hotel in Atlanta's affluent Buckhead neighborhood over the weekend of August 7th. During that weekend meeting, recovered documents by the hotel staff revealed that they finalized a comprehensive 5-point plan to bring an end to what some of the members had termed the Chappelle problem. This complex, well-funded, and well-thought-out plan was to employ a by-any-means-necessary approach to ensure that the 3rd season of The Chappelle Show would never air on Comedy Central. What follows is the story of the events that led up to and ultimately were responsible for Dave Chappelle's fall from grace. Introduction, page 4. The Dark Crusaders. An ad hoc organization whose members were an all-integral part of Dave Chappelle's early life and career, the group known as the Dark Crusaders came together to sabotage Chappelle's career because they felt the material on Chappelle's Show was not reflecting well on the black community. Using a mix of measures, the Dark Crusaders achieved its primary goal: the cancellation of Chappelle's Show's 3rd season and the near crippling of Chappelle's comedy career. Al Sharpton, bio. Former mayoral, congressional, and presidential candidate, civil rights activist, reparations advocate, Pentecostal minister, Sharpton spearheaded the controversial efforts to bring Tawana Brawley's rapist to justice, and continued to do so even after authorities unearthed evidence that Brawley's accusations of rape were fabricated. Connection to Chappelle? He was a rabid fan of stand-up comedy, who took an early liking to Chappelle and offered support and encouragement early on in his career. Jesse Jackson, bio. Former Martin Luther King confidant and presidential candidate, founder of the Rainbow Coalition and prominent civil rights leader for over 40 years. Presidential hopes were dashed when it was revealed that he once referred to Jews as Hymies and New York as Hymietown during an off-the-record conversation with reporters. He has been dogged by controversy ever since, including accusations of infidelity and unethical behavior while securing a Budweiser distributorship for his two sons in the lucrative Chicago market. Connection to Chappelle. Friend of Chappelle's mother, Yvonne Serron, and has known Chappelle since he moved to Washington, D.C. with his mother after his parents' divorce. Louis Farrakhan, bio. Leader of the African American Nation of Islam, founder of the Million Man March, and former confidant of both the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. Rumored to have been involved in the assassination of Malcolm X, has elicited controversy by espousing his views that the white race was invented by an evil scientist named Yaqub in one of the craters on the dark side of the moon, and was publicly stating that Hitler was a great man. Connection to Chappelle. He has advised Chappelle on spiritual matters related to the Islamic faith. Introduction, page 5. Bill Cosby, bio. Philadelphia-born star of I Spy, Fat Albert, and The Cosby Show. Purveyor of respectable black family television, Cosby has raised the ire of the black community recently by being openly critical of low-income blacks, whom he believes are deprioritizing education in favor of sports and fashion. He has been accused of fathering an illegitimate daughter and drugging and groping former female acquaintances. Connection to Chappelle. Helped secure the role of Achu in Mel Brooks' Robin Hood Men in Tights for Chappelle. Advised Chappelle against taking the role of Bubba in the film Forrest Gump. Whoopi Goldberg, bio. Academy Award-winning comedic actress and staunch civil rights supporter. Goldberg broke into show business with her one-woman Broadway show, The Spook Show, and ever since has been one of the leading proponents of charitable causes in Hollywood. She has managed to remain relatively controversy-free throughout her career, save for the infamous blackface incident involving her then-boyfriend, Ted Danson. Connection to Chappelle. Gave Chappelle one of his early breaks when she offered him the chance to appear on Comic Relief 6 in 1994. Introduction, page 6. Oprah Winfrey, bio. Billionaire talk show host and the most powerful woman in show business. Winfrey has successfully defended herself against the spurious lawsuit brought by the Texas Cattlemen's Association. She brought Dr. Phil and William Faulkner to unsuspecting middle American housewives and single-handedly brought the Hermes Corporation to its knees. She has also supported black charitable causes throughout her career and strives to convey a positive image for the community. Connection to Chappelle. Worked briefly with Chappelle when he was an extra on the set of The Women of Brewster Place and offered mentoring early on in his career. Robert L. Johnson, bio. Founder of Black Entertainment Television, BET. First black-controlled company to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange. First black owner of a major sports franchise, the NBA's Charlotte Bobcats. Serves on the board of U.S. Airways, Hilton Hotels, and General Mills. Divorced from Sheila Johnson, yet still remains a staunch supporter of family values. Connection to Chappelle. Used his influence in corporate America to help broker deals for Chappelle to be the pitchman for both Pepsi and Coca-Cola at different times in his career. The Theory. Timeline. The first episode of Chappelle's show aired on January 22nd, 2003. It was a lightly promoted 30-minute show that Comedy Central executives hoped would perform as well as earlier shows such as Strangers with Candy or The Man Show. The budget was modest, the stars were modest. Chappelle's biggest success up until this time had been the cult stoner comedy Half-Baked, and expectations were modest. Chappelle was looking forward to the show's debut, but was nonplussed about its chances for success. Clearly, neither Comedy Central or Chappelle had any inkling of the impact Chappelle's show would have on pop culture. The Theory, January 2003. January 22nd, 2003. Chappelle's first show set the tone for much of the content of the upcoming series. It featured a sketch on a blind black white supremacist, Clayton Bigsby, who was raised by white foster parents and taught from a young age to abhor the black race. The sketch, inspired by the true-to-life circumstances of Chappelle's grandfather, was considered the high point of the show, and concluded with Bigsby taking off his KKK hood at a Klan rally and shouting "White Power" to the horrified reactions of his fellow Klansmen. According to Nielsen ratings, the show was seen by approximately 2.5 million viewers on its opening night. A small audience, but respectable for the debut of a basic cable show. One of the viewers that night was Bill Cosby, an old friend of Chappelle who had helped him secure movie roles early in his career. Bill later recalled being eager to watch this show to see how Dave's career was progressing. To summarize an interview with Cosby by Philadelphia Metro, he wasn't pleased. January 29, 2003. The show's second episode aired, featuring the debut of what will become one of the show's most identifiable characters, Tyrone Biggums, crackhead. In his first appearance, Biggums lectures at a grammar school's Drug Awareness Week. The wisdom he dispenses to children includes that dog food is delicious and that he has sucked dick for crack. Bill Cosby had tuned into the show as well, and according to friends of his, was reportedly livid with the portrayal of the black community that Chappelle was foisting on viewers. This may have been when he began to think about doing something to send a message to Chappelle about the show's outrageous tone. The Theory, February 2003. February 5th, 2003. Chappelle's show third episode featured a takeoff on the making of Roots, a topic that many upper-income baby boomer blacks hold sacred. Soon after the airing of this show, a friend of Minister Louis Farrakhan recalled a heated phone call discussion between Farrakhan and Cosby. It appeared that, already upset from having seen Chappelle's show before, Cosby had been pushed over the edge and decided to seek out help from his influential friends. Chappelle remained blissfully unaware that he was a topic of heated debate amongst some of the most powerful members of Black American society. In interviews, it seemed he was completely engrossed in the growing success of his show. February 12, 2003. Episode 4 of Chappelle's show, which by this time was beginning to pick up a head of steam with the public and critics alike, featured a sketch fantasizing about what would happen if black people were given reparations. The outcome was that Tron, a ghetto hustler, supplants Bill Gates as the world's richest man, and stock market prices for fried chicken-related companies surge. It's about this time that Al Sharpton, a staunch reparations supporter and longtime fan of Chappelle, noticed the show's growing popularity. Sharpton began writing letters to his contemporaries concerning Chappelle, unaware that Cosby was also displeased and taking action.
Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation.